Have you ever found yourself pondering the enigmatic figures mentioned in the Bible, specifically, the brothers of Jesus? For centuries, scholars, theologians, and believers alike have grappled with understanding who these individuals truly were and what roles they played in the life and ministry of Jesus. This question isn't just a matter of historical curiosity. It touches the very core of Christian theology and the interpretation of sacred texts. Today, we're embarking on an exploration to shed light on these often overlooked relatives of Jesus, uncovering insights that aren't widely discussed or fully understood. But before we dive deeper into this intriguing subject, take a moment to subscribe to our channel and give this video a thumbs up if you find these explorations into biblical mysteries fascinating. Your support not only helps us create more content like this but also builds a community of inquisitive minds eager to delve into the profound questions that shape our understanding of faith and history. Let's set the stage by revisiting the biblical passages that mention the brothers of Jesus. In the Gospel of Mark, chapter 6, verse 3, we read, "Isn't this the carpenter? Isn't this Mary's son and the brother of James, Joseph, Judas, and Simon? Aren't his sisters here with us?" Similarly, the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 13, verses 55 to 56 states, "Isn't this the carpenter's son? Isn't his mother's name Mary? And aren't his brothers James, Joseph, Simon, and Judas? Aren't all his sisters with us?" These passages present us with the names James, Joseph, Judas, and Simon as the brothers of Jesus, along with mentions of his sisters, though their names are not provided. At first glance, these references might seem straightforward, but they open the door to a multitude of interpretations and debates within Christian scholarship. Who exactly were these brothers? Were they literal siblings, cousins, or perhaps stepbrothers? And what significance do they hold in the broader narrative of Jesus' life and the early Christian community? To understand the various perspectives, we need to delve into the historical and cultural context of the time. In first-century Judea, the concept of family was deeply rooted in both Jewish tradition and Roman societal norms. Families were often large, extended, and tightly knit, with strong emphasis on lineage and heritage. The term, brothers, adelphoi in Greek, used in the scriptures could refer to a range of familial relationships, not strictly limited to biological siblings as we might interpret them today. One prominent view among scholars is the Sabellian interpretation, which suggests that the brothers mentioned were indeed Jesus' biological siblings, children born to Mary and Joseph after Jesus. This perspective is supported by the straightforward reading of the biblical texts, which do not explicitly state that these brothers were cousins or stepbrothers. Proponents of this view argue that acknowledging Jesus had siblings emphasizes his full humanity, reinforcing the belief that he experienced family dynamics similar to those of any other person. Conversely, the perpetual virginity doctrine, upheld by many within the Catholic and Orthodox traditions, posits that Mary remained a virgin throughout her life. According to this belief, the brothers of Jesus were not her biological children but rather cousins or close relatives. This interpretation seeks to preserve the doctrine of Mary's perpetual virginity, suggesting that the Greek word, adelphoi, was used more flexibly in ancient texts to denote kinship beyond direct siblings. Supporting this view, some early church fathers, such as Jerome and Augustine, argued that these brothers were either Joseph's children from a previous marriage or cousins, thereby maintaining Mary's virginity. Another fascinating perspective comes from the Levirate marriage tradition, a Jewish custom where a man would marry his brother's widow to produce offspring in his brother's name. While this practice primarily applied to situations where a man died without leaving an heir, some scholars speculate whether similar familial arrangements could explain the references to Jesus' brothers. However, this theory is less widely accepted and remains more speculative in nature. Beyond these interpretations, the identities and roles of these brothers have significant implications for understanding the early Christian community. For instance, James, one of the named brothers, is believed by many scholars to be James the Just, a pivotal figure in the Jerusalem church and a leader among the early Christians. His prominence in the Acts of the Apostles and his leadership role in the Council of Jerusalem, as described in Acts 15, underscore the influence Jesus' family had in the nascent Christian movement. Joseph, Another brother mentioned appears less prominently in the scriptures but is recognized in some traditions as a figure of piety and faith. Judas and Simon, while less documented, are thought to have been active participants in the early church, contributing to its growth and stability during tumultuous times. The mention of Jesus' sisters, though brief and without names, also invites curiosity. Their presence in the Gospel accounts suggests that Jesus grew up in a bustling household, possibly providing him with a broader perspective on life and relationships. While the New Testament does not elaborate on their lives or roles, their inclusion hints at the normalcy of family interactions and the everyday realities Jesus would have experienced. Understanding who these brothers were also touches on the broader theological discussions about Jesus' nature and mission. If they were his biological siblings, it emphasizes his human lineage and shared heritage, bridging the divine and the mortal in a tangible way. If they were cousins or relatives, it reinforces the idea of Jesus' unique role and divine mission, setting him apart from his earthly family while still maintaining familial bonds. Moreover, these familial references play a crucial role in interpreting passages that discuss Jesus' relationship with his family. For example, in John 7 verses 3-5, Jesus' brothers urge him to go to Judea and perform miracles there, questioning his public ministry. This interaction raises questions about the dynamics between Jesus and his family, highlighting potential tensions between his divine mission and familial expectations. The brothers of Jesus also appear in post-biblical traditions and apocryphal texts, which further enrich our understanding of their identities and contributions. For instance, the Proto-Evangelium of James, an apocryphal gospel, provides additional details about Mary and Joseph's life, indirectly shedding light on the family structure that included Jesus' brothers and sisters. These texts, while not part of the canonical Bible, offer valuable insights into how early Christians viewed Jesus' family and their roles within the broader narrative of salvation history. Additionally, historical accounts from early Christian writers outside the New Testament, such as Josephus, offer corroborative evidence about the existence and influence of Jesus' brothers. Josephus, a first-century Jewish historian, mentions James as a prominent leader in Jerusalem, suggesting that the brothers were indeed active figures in the early church. These external references lend credibility to the biblical accounts, supporting the idea that Jesus' family played a significant role in the development and spread of Christianity. As we explore these questions, it's essential to recognize that the identity of Jesus' brothers is not merely a historical curiosity, but a topic that continues to shape theological discourse and denominational beliefs today. Different Christian traditions interpret these references in ways that align with their doctrinal teachings, influencing how believers understand the nature of Jesus, Mary, and the Holy Family. Furthermore, the discussion about Jesus' brothers intersects with broader themes of family, kinship, and community within Christianity. It prompts believers to reflect on the importance of family ties, the responsibilities that come with kinship, and the ways in which familial relationships can both support and challenge one's spiritual journey. The lives of James, Joseph, Judas, and Simon, as inferred from the scriptures and historical accounts, offer examples of how family members can contribute to a shared mission and navigate the complexities of faith and leadership. In conclusion, the question of who Jesus' brothers were is a multifaceted inquiry that touches on historical, theological, and cultural dimensions of early Christianity. By examining the biblical passages, exploring various scholarly interpretations, and considering the broader context of the time, we gain a deeper appreciation for the intricate web of relationships that surrounded Jesus and the foundational role his family played in the early church. This exploration not only enhances our understanding of biblical narratives but also invites us to contemplate the enduring significance of family and community in the journey of faith. As we continue to unravel these mysteries, remember that the stories and figures mentioned in sacred texts often hold layers of meaning and significance that extend beyond their immediate contexts. By seeking to understand the brothers of Jesus, we engage with the very fabric of Christian history and theology, enriching our own faith and appreciation for the profound legacy of those who walked alongside one of history's most influential figures. As we delve deeper into the question of who the brothers of Jesus were, it's essential to explore the traditional interpretations that have shaped Christian understanding for centuries. These interpretations vary significantly across different Christian denominations, each bringing its own theological perspectives and historical contexts to the table. By examining these views, we can gain a more comprehensive understanding of the complexities surrounding Jesus' familial relationships as depicted in the Bible. Let's begin with the Catholic Roman perspective. The Roman Catholic Church upholds the doctrine of the perpetual virginity of Mary, which asserts that Mary, the mother of Jesus, remained a virgin throughout her entire life. This belief is foundational to Catholic Mariology and has significant implications for how the brothers of Jesus are interpreted. According to this doctrine, the references to Jesus' brothers in the Bible are understood not as biological siblings but rather as cousins or close relatives. The term brothers, used in the original Greek texts of the New Testament, is adelphoi, which can denote a range of familial relationships beyond just biological siblings. In the cultural and linguistic context of the time, it was not uncommon for adelphoi to refer to cousins or even more distant relatives. The Catholic interpretation leverages this linguistic flexibility to reconcile the biblical passages with the doctrine of Mary's perpetual virginity. Early church fathers, such as Jerome and Augustine, played pivotal roles in shaping this interpretation. Jerome, in his work on the life of Mary, argued that the brothers of Jesus were indeed cousins, emphasizing the importance of maintaining Mary's perpetual virginity. Augustine echoed similar sentiments, suggesting that these brothers could have been children from a previous marriage of Joseph, thus making them Jesus' stepbrothers rather than biological siblings. This interpretation not only preserves the theological stance on Mary's virginity, but also aligns with the broader Catholic emphasis on the sanctity and special role of Mary within the Christian narrative. Moving on to the Orthodox Eastern perspective, the Eastern Orthodox Church also upholds the perpetual virginity of Mary but offers a slightly different explanation for the identity of Jesus' brothers. The Orthodox tradition posits that these brothers were children of Joseph from a previous marriage, making them half-brothers of Jesus. This view aligns with the Orthodox understanding of Mary's perpetual virginity while acknowledging the presence of Jesus' siblings in the biblical accounts. This interpretation is supported by early Orthodox theologians who emphasize the importance of Mary's virginity and the purity of the Holy Family. By suggesting that Joseph had children from a prior union, the Orthodox Church maintains the integrity of Mary's perpetual virginity without dismissing the biblical references to Jesus' brothers. This perspective also underscores the role of Joseph as a guardian and protector of Jesus, reinforcing his significance within the Holy Family narrative. In contrast, the Protestant perspective offers a more literal interpretation of the biblical passages. Many Protestant denominations assert that the brothers of Jesus mentioned in the Scriptures are indeed his biological siblings, children born to Mary and Joseph after Jesus. This view is grounded in a straightforward reading of the New Testament texts, which refer to these individuals as Jesus' brothers without providing additional context to suggest otherwise. Protestant theologians argue that there is no compelling evidence within the Bible to support the idea that adelphoi refers to cousins or stepbrothers in these instances. They emphasize the importance of adhering closely to the scriptural text, advocating for a clear and direct interpretation. This approach aligns with the Protestant emphasis on sola scriptura, Scripture alone, as the sole authority in matters of faith and doctrine. Supporting this interpretation, some early Protestant reformers like Martin Luther and John Calvin acknowledged the presence of Jesus' siblings as biological brothers and sisters. They contended that these references highlight the humanity of Jesus, showcasing him as a figure who experienced familial relationships and the dynamics of a typical household. This perspective reinforces the belief in Jesus' dual nature as both fully divine and fully human, a cornerstone of Protestant Christology. The Protestant interpretation also has implications for understanding the role of Jesus' brothers in the early Christian community. For instance, James, identified as one of Jesus' brothers, is traditionally regarded as a significant leader in the Jerusalem church. The book of Acts and Paul's epistles mention James as a key figure, suggesting that Jesus' family played an influential role in the spread of Christianity. Recognizing these brothers as biological siblings underscores the close-knit nature of the early Christian movement and the familial bonds that contributed to its development. However, it's important to note that within Protestantism, there is some diversity of thought regarding this issue. While the majority uphold the view that the brothers and sisters mentioned in the Bible are Jesus' biological siblings, there are nuanced positions within different denominations and theological traditions. Some may acknowledge the possibility of cousins or other relatives being referred to as brothers, though this is less common. Beyond these traditional interpretations, contemporary scholarship continues to explore the identities of Jesus' brothers with renewed interest. Archaeological findings, historical research, and linguistic studies contribute to ongoing debates, offering new insights and perspectives. For example, the discovery of ancient manuscripts and the study of Semitic languages help scholars better understand the cultural and familial structures of 1st century Judea, shedding light on how terms like adelphoi were used in various contexts. Moreover, the role of Jesus' brothers in early Christianity is a subject of significant scholarly interest. James, in particular, is often highlighted for his leadership and influence. The Epistle of James in the New Testament is attributed to him, and historical accounts by writers like Josephus attest to his prominence in the Jerusalem church. Understanding James's relationship with Jesus provides valuable context for the dynamics within the early Christian community and the development of Christian doctrine and practice. In addition to James, the other brothers, Joseph, Judas, and Simon, are subjects of interest, though less is known about them compared to James. Some traditions in apocryphal texts offer further details about their lives and contributions, albeit outside the canonical scriptures. These narratives, while not universally accepted, add depth to our understanding of the familial and communal aspects of early Christianity. The Sisters of Jesus, though mentioned briefly and without specific names in the Bible, also invite exploration. Their presence in the Gospel accounts suggests that Jesus grew up in a household with multiple siblings, providing him with a broader social and familial environment. While the New Testament does not elaborate on their roles or lives, their inclusion points to the normalcy of family life and the everyday interactions that shaped Jesus' early experiences. In summary, the traditional interpretations of who the brothers of Jesus were reflect the diverse theological perspectives within Christianity. The Catholic Roman view emphasizes Mary's perpetual virginity by interpreting brothers as cousins or relatives. The Orthodox Eastern perspective posits that they were Joseph's children from a previous marriage, and the Protestant stance supports the idea of them being biological siblings of Jesus. Each interpretation is deeply rooted in the theological doctrines and historical contexts of the respective traditions, highlighting the rich tapestry of Christian thought and belief. Understanding these interpretations not only clarifies the identity of Jesus' brothers but also enhances our appreciation of the intricate relationships and theological debates that have shaped Christianity. It underscores the importance of context, both linguistic and cultural, in interpreting ancient texts and the enduring impact of these interpretations on contemporary faith practices. As we continue our exploration, it's crucial to approach these discussions with an open mind and a respect for the diverse perspectives that have emerged over centuries. Whether one aligns with the Catholic, Orthodox, or Protestant view, the quest to understand the familial ties of Jesus invites a deeper engagement with the Scriptures, history, and the foundational beliefs that unite and distinguish different Christian traditions. As we conclude our exploration into the identities of Jesus' brothers, it's essential to reflect on the broader implications of these diverse interpretations within the Christian faith. The varying perspectives, from the Catholic Roman view that interprets brothers as cousins or close relatives, to the Orthodox Eastern belief that they were Joseph's children from a previous marriage, and the Protestant stance that sees them as Jesus' biological siblings, highlight the rich tapestry of Christian theology and tradition. Despite these differences, one undeniable truth remains at the heart of all these interpretations: the central focus on the teachings and mission of Jesus Christ. This diversity of interpretations is not merely an academic exercise, it embodies the dynamic and living nature of Christian faith. Throughout history, believers have sought to understand and articulate the complexities of their faith, leading to a multitude of perspectives that enrich the collective understanding of Christianity. Each tradition brings its own cultural, historical, and theological lenses to the interpretation of Scripture, resulting in a vibrant mosaic of beliefs that, while varied, are united by a common foundation. Recognizing and respecting this diversity is crucial for fostering a spirit of unity within the Christian community. It reminds us that faith is not monolithic but is instead a multifaceted journey that accommodates a range of understandings and experiences. This unity amidst diversity is a testament to the enduring relevance and adaptability of Jesus' teachings, which continue to inspire and guide millions around the world. Moreover, the importance of research and scholarly inquiry cannot be overstated in this context. Studying the Scriptures and the historical contexts in which they were written requires an open mind and a willingness to engage with various interpretations and traditions. By valuing diverse perspectives, we not only deepen our own understanding but also honor the rich heritage of Christian thought that has been shaped by countless voices over the centuries. Engaging with different interpretations encourages us to approach the Bible and Christian history with humility and curiosity. It challenges us to question our assumptions, seek out new insights, and appreciate the depth and complexity of our faith tradition. This approach not only enhances our personal spiritual journey but also contributes to a more inclusive and empathetic Christian community. As we reflect on the unity that binds us despite our interpretative differences, it's important to emphasize that the essence of Jesus' teachings remains a unifying force. His messages of love, compassion, and faith transcend specific doctrinal interpretations and resonate deeply within the human spirit. These core values serve as a common ground upon which all Christians, regardless of their theological backgrounds, can connect and collaborate in meaningful ways. In this light, the exploration of who Jesus' brothers were is not just an exercise in historical or theological analysis. It is an invitation to engage more deeply with the foundational aspects of our faith, to seek out connections that bind us together, and to celebrate the shared beliefs that define our Christian identity. By doing so, we honor the legacy of Jesus and the early Christian communities that have carried his message forward through the ages. I encourage each of you to embark on your own journey of investigation and discovery. Delve into the Scriptures, explore historical texts, and engage with diverse theological perspectives. Allow yourself the freedom to question, to seek, and to embrace the multifaceted nature of your faith. In doing so, you'll not only expand your understanding but also contribute to the ongoing dialogue that enriches the Christian tradition. Moreover, fostering an environment of respect and unity is essential as we navigate these complex topics. Differences in interpretation should not be viewed as barriers but as opportunities for growth and mutual enrichment. By approaching each other with empathy and a genuine desire to understand, we can bridge gaps and build stronger, more cohesive communities grounded in the love and teachings of Jesus. The message of unity and respect is not just an ideal to aspire to, it is a practical imperative for the modern Christian. In a world often divided by differences, the ability to find common ground and to honor each other's perspectives is invaluable. It allows us to present a united front in our collective mission to embody and spread the teachings of Jesus, creating a more compassionate and just world. As we wrap up this discussion, remember that the journey of faith is a continuous one, filled with opportunities for learning and growth. Embrace the diversity within Christianity as a source of strength and inspiration, and let the universal teachings of Jesus guide you in your personal and communal life. Whether through study, dialogue, or reflection, each step you take towards understanding enriches your faith and deepens your connection to the broader Christian family. In closing, let us hold on to the timeless lessons that Jesus imparted, lessons that call us to love unconditionally, to show compassion to all, and to maintain unwavering faith even in the face of uncertainty. These principles are the threads that weave together the diverse fabric of Christian belief, creating a tapestry that is both beautiful and resilient. I invite you to continue exploring these profound topics, to seek out new knowledge, and to engage with others in meaningful conversations about faith and history. By doing so, you not only enhance your own spiritual journey but also contribute to a more united and understanding Christian community. Thank you for joining us in this exploration of the Brothers of Jesus and the rich interpretations that surround them. May your quest for knowledge and truth be blessed, and may the teachings of Jesus continue to inspire and guide you every step of the way. Embrace the unity that lies at the heart of Christianity, and let it shine through in your life, fostering love, compassion, and faith in all that you do.